So first I've got some of these cards. This is probably my most prized possession as far as hockey cards go. Welcome to the Left Coast and to a special hockey edition. Tonight I'm wearing my Trevor Linen jersey that I got a bunch of years ago. Actually, I really enjoy this jersey. The only thing that I wish was different was it has the A on it, because towards the end of his career, he was assistant captain. But I kind of wish it had the C, because when I was a kid, growing up, he was always my favorite player, and he was the captain. So I kind of wish it had a C. I keep talking that one day I'm gonna get it changed from an A to a C. I don't even know if that's possible, but I always talk about that. Anyway, so tonight I've got another Lay's variant, limited edition. The bag is very light because I've already poured them into a bowl. The Lay's holiday table jerk chicken. So, gonna try those. And still get some packaging sounds. But I already opened them just because otherwise it's so loud. Yeah, these are part of this year's limited flavors. So, jerk chicken, bite into flavor-filled taste of savory blackened chicken. Perfectly spiced with peppery jerk seasoning. So, and then the third one is tikka masala, which I looked for at the grocery store, but they didn't have any when I was there, or they haven't had any every time I look. Best before is January 28th, 2025. Made in Canada. It's kind of funny. They've got like peppers, I think it is, on the chicken in the picture, and it looks like the Deadpool logo. Right there. Excuse my gross fingernails. There's a couple of them. There's one up top too. It's funny. Anyway. So yeah, I've already poured them into a bowl. Well, I really enjoyed the turkey ones, the turkey dinner. So I'm hoping I'm gonna enjoy these just as much. Trying to find a folded over one for extra crunch, but I don't see one. Oh well. Okay. Here we go. That is exactly as advertised. I feel like I just took a bite of chicken. Like, cut it on my plate and took a bite of chicken. That's crazy. Oh yeah. Also, I've got a Canucks game going on the TV by me, which is a pretty common occurrence. I have the TV in here, so lots of times I'll put a hockey game on when I'm doing editing or doing work in here. This game is a couple weeks old. I know what happens. I just left it on the PVR because I knew I was going to be doing this. And I wanted to have something hockey related playing in the background. Unfortunately, no sound, because it's not really conducive to ASMR, and also copyright. really good. Oh, that one's kind of folded over. So I also have one of my Canucks cups. I think this one, yeah, they're all 3D. This one's maybe not as 3D. A little bit. It's Alex Edler, which I actually met. I met him. I had a chance to go. They had like a family skate where they invite people to go to Rogers Arena and skate with some of the players. And I got to go. It's a bunch of years ago now. And he was there. Super nice guy. Signed something for me. It was like a program that we got at the event. There was another player there too, but I can't remember his name. He wasn't as big of a name for the Canucks. And he didn't stick around long after that. I think he got traded, I can't remember. Actually, Edler wasn't there much longer after that either. Which is too bad because I really liked him. Anyway, I assumed with the jerk chicken I would need some water. Just with chips in general, they're salty. So tonight, I thought I would just talk about hockey. Somebody requested that, so I explained a little bit about growing up in one of my other videos and listening to games on the radio because I wasn't allowed to stay up and watch them. Whereas, completely different world now. Every game's on TV, online, whatever. I PVR every game, and then, depending on if I have time to watch or not, I do or don't. But it's great because if you PVR the game, then you can start them late. Sorry. Spice hit the wrong part of my throat. Yeah, you can PVR the games and then start them whenever you want. These aren't that spicy, but for some reason they're tickling my throat. I feel my eyes watering. I'm not crying. I'm very passionate about hockey, but not that passionate. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I PVR the games. So most of the games start at 7 if they're home games. And then if I start them at, 9 o'clock. Even 8 o'clock. I can fast forward all the commercials. I can fast forward the intermissions. Watch the whole game in a little over an hour. And if we're losing really bad, I can just fast forward. So, a little bit of history for me in hockey. It started when I was probably around 10, maybe younger. I mean, like really getting into the games. I would watch mostly Saturday nights because that was at that time those were the games that were on TV. Then I had road hockey, goalie pads, and I would pretend I was in goal. I would mimic the goalies in our family room on the floor. But things really ramped up Blackhawks had their big cup run in '94. Actually, before that, I have this is from the Stanley Cup Finals in '82, which I was not at that game. Technically, I was alive at that time, but I was not old enough to go to games. I think it was my dad that got that towel. Might have been my grandfather, I can't remember. He gave it to me. Well, when I was older, he gave it to me. These are good. Oh, there's a folded over one. That cup run in '94 was epic. This is a clip of Tom Larscheid. Or no, Jim Robson. Tom Larscheid was the color guy. Jim Robson was the play-by-play. Of the clip of him calling Game 6 at the end. And he's talking about Trevor Linden, and he says something like, he'll play on crutches, but he'll play. It still gives me chills when I hear it. It gives me goosebumps. And the story behind that, with the play on crutches, is because it was right at the end of the game in Game 6, and Trevor Linden was on his knees. He had been hit, and he was trying to get up, and Mark Messier came, skated from behind, and sucker punched him in the back of the head. That's a whole other video. The story about Mark Messier and why he's so hated in Vancouver. That was the start of it. But it ends up getting so much deeper than that. So maybe one day I'll do a video on that. But anyway, so they forced Game 7 in New York. And the only thing I remember about that game is we were watching it, and my cousins had come over, and my aunt, my uncle, and my cousins, we were all watching it. And then, because it's Stanley Cup Finals, it's like already into June by the time the series is over. So it's crazy light outside, until late, and the game had gone into, I think, double overtime. And then that had finished, and so they take like a 20-minute break, clean the ice, the whole thing. And we were bored. So we had decided to go outside and play road hockey. And my dad was recording the game, not on a PVR, because it was 1994. PVRs didn't exist. He was recording it on VHS. So we went out to play. And while we were outside, the Rangers scored and won it. And I don't know whose idea it was, my dad's or my uncle's. Probably my uncle's, knowing the practical joker he is. Rewound the tape to the start of that period. Hit play, and then called us inside. So they all knew it was already over, and we thought the whatever period of overtime was just starting. I don't know if they thought it was funny, but it was kind of depressing in the end because we didn't win. that whole series was crazy because, like, and it's happened each time the Canucks have gone deep into the playoffs. But the whole city just comes alive. I remember the newspaper, the Vancouver newspaper, it's called The Province. I think it was each day or each week, they would publish a picture or like a poster of one of the players. My grandfather would kept them all, and I had them up on my wall for years. I wish I still had them now. Every once in a while I see them come up on social media, on Canucks Reddit or eBay or something like that. So this weekend, we were getting out the Christmas decorations, and I kind of had an ulterior motive because in the storage closet where the Christmas decorations are all my bins of stuff from when I was a kid. Including my hockey cards and this towel. Oh, I gotta tell a story about the towel. So, a lot of teams now claim the towel power as their own, where fans get the white towel and wave it. But that actually originated in Vancouver. And there's a statue of Roger Nielsen, who was the coach at the time, who started it. And the story goes that he was so fed up with the refereeing in the game that he got a towel off the bench and put it on the end of a hockey stick and waved it around like to the refs, like, we surrender. And then after that, fans started bringing white towels to the games and waving the towels around. So after that, the team started buying white towels and put them on all the seats, which they still do to this day in the playoffs, just in the playoffs. In other cities, I've copied it. Other sports, I've copied the white towel, but it originated in Vancouver. So, okay. So, going through all the stuff, I found my old hockey cards. So, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to go through one of the binders and a couple of the more, I don't know if fancy is the right word, but some of the cooler cards. And then maybe I'll do another one another day. We'll see. Anyway, let's move these out of the way and we'll get into it. Okay, so move the towel. Oh, got chip dust everywhere. So first I've got some of these cards. This is probably my most prized possession as far as hockey cards go. This is a Trevor Linden rookie card that's signed. I actually have two cards of Trevor Linden's that are signed. This one isn't a rookie card. It's from 88-89. No, 89-90. This is from 88-89. That was his rookie year. And this is 89-90. I don't remember which. I think it was the rookie card. They had one of the first years. They had the PGA Tour in Vancouver, or the Vancouver Open, I think it was. They don't do it anymore. They actually only did it for a few years. But they had the PGA Open, and they had a Pro-Am on the Friday, I think it was. And a friend of mine in high school was part of a golf country club that got tickets to go, just to go watch. And he took me as his guest or whatever. I didn't really meet him. There was a line and he came by and grabbed my card and signed it and gave it back. But that was kind of cool. So, those are my Trevor Linden rookie cards. I also have a couple of Gordie Howe signed cards. I honestly don't remember. It's been so long. I don't remember how these got signed. I don't remember meeting him. I think somebody I knew was going to an event that he was at, and they either got them signed for me or they bought them for me. I can't remember. It's been so long. So that's those ones. And then I also have a signed Pavel Bure card. And this one, I was thinking about it as I was prepping for this video. My cousin somehow knew him or knew somebody that knew him and was like, if you give me a card, I can get it signed. And I kind of thought, yeah, okay, sure, like, whatever. So I picked this card because I didn't want to give him, like, all my cards. I can't remember exactly why, but this wasn't one of my favorite ones. So I thought, I'll give it to him, and if he gets signed, great. And if he doesn't, it's not that, that big of a loss to me. So, but he got it signed. So, and actually, I was able to go to both Trevor and Bure's jersey retirement nights. The Trevor one, my sister got me the ticket for Christmas, I think it was, and it might have been my birthday. Anyway, doesn't matter. Got me just the single ticket because tickets were so hard to get and they were so expensive. So I got to go just by myself, but it was really cool. And the Pavel night, I got to go to that retirement night because I got invited by somebody at work. Not to get into the details of it, it's not a big secret, but anyway, it was a company that the company I was worked with, and they offered to take me to a game, and I said sure, and it just turned out to be the Pavel Bure retirement night. So, actually, kind of completely side deal. Candace Cameron Bure was there from Full House, because Pavel's brother, she's married to Pavel's brother, and we were sitting just below the box that she was in, and so my wife got to go and take a picture with her, so that's kind of cool. Got a picture with TJ Tanner. Anyway, so that's those are all my signed ones. I'm gonna just grab my binder with a bunch more. I'm forgetting about my chips. So for me, hockey cards kind of peaked in the mid-90s, which you'll probably notice. Where's my, just gotta prop it up a little bit for the lighting. as you can see, more Trevor. Lots of different ones. There's Upper Deck, there's Pro Set. I had a lot of Pro Sets. At one point, I bought a whole box. Not a complete set, but just a box of the packages. I can't remember how much it was, but I remember I saved money for a while to buy it. A lot of these focus around the team in '94. There's a Pro Set Vancouver Canucks Team Facts from 1991. This is one of my favorite Trevor cards. I just like the look of it. It's not a typical hockey card pose. So, this is kind of fun. Kirk McLean. Kirk McLean is still around. A lot of these guys are still around. But I mean, like, still active in the community with the alumni. He's had a lot of stuff. Like, you see him in the news anytime there's an alumni event or there's different Canucks events around town. He's around a lot. Same with Dave Babbage, although not as much. Dave Babbage is always famous for his Tom Selleck style mustache. Jeff Cornell. He's still around. I think he has a fishing business. He'll take you fishing on the West Coast. Cliff Ronning. A lot of these guys. Stan Smeel. So he retired. They retired his number 12. He was the Canucks captain for a long time. He wasn't the first captain. That was Orland Kurtenbach. But he was a captain for a long time, very well respected. And he only retired from the organization not that long ago. He went into coaching or scouting, I think. And then worked in the front office for years. There's another Kirk McLean. Doug Lidster, Jurge Lumi. A lot of these names I haven't heard of in years. Sergio Messo. At the time, I knew all the players. I knew all their numbers. A lot of that. I've forgotten some of it. Gino Ocek. He's a huge fan favorite. There's another Kirk McLean. That's a cool photo. Jim Sandlak. Andrew McBain, I have no memory of. There's another Cliff Ronning. There's another Sergio Momesso, Dana Merzen. Another Igor Larionov. There's Jeff and Russ Cornell. Two brothers that played in the NHL. Sean Antosky. Eric Morano. I have no memory of him. Who's that? Petri Strico. I vaguely remember him. There's another Kirk McLean. Robert Cron, I remember him. Dan Quinn. There's another Gino Ocek. I don't remember why or how I organized these. If I just stuck them in or if there's some method to my madness. It's Rick Hansen. He didn't play for the Canucks. He was a celebrity captain. International wheelchair athlete Rick Hansen gained national and international attention in 1985 as he wheeled 25,000 miles around the world. The Vancouver resident who has been named celebrity captain of the Vancouver Canucks was recognized for his 26-month journey with the Order of Canada, the Order of British Columbia, and Newsmaker Awards in 1986 and 87. His journey through 34 countries raised $23 million for a legacy trust for the support of spinal cord research and rehabilitation, wheelchair support, and awareness. So yes, he rode his wheelchair around the world, like it said, to raise money for people who are paralyzed. So he's still around too. I see him at events every once in a while. Obviously, he's quite a bit older, but he's still around, I believe. Some of these Pro Set, what is it? Premium. Yeah, Pro Set Premium. The names are on the back. So there's Steve Weeks. He was our backup goal tender for a little while. Oh, there's a Pavel. This is one of the famous Pavel cards of him on rollerblades. I think the story was that they were on a road trip in California and they went to the beach and did a photo shoot for some reason. I remember hearing that. There's a Pavel Bure rookie card. Alexander McGillney. Just back to Pavel for a minute. He was unbelievable to watch. Like, there's one clip that still gets, included in some of those, best hockey plays, whatever. Where he was on a breakaway and he was going down and he dropped the puck from his stick down to his skate and then kicked it back up to his stick and bumped at the net. Which seems kind of, I don't know, not that impressive now, but at the time nobody was doing things like that. Alexander McGillney, so he actually played for the Canucks, which is probably why I have him here. But at the time he was playing for Buffalo. There's a couple of Mark Messiers because he ended up playing for the Canucks as well. Joe Sakic. Mike Modano. If I couldn't cheer for the Canucks or Trevor Linden, Mike Modano was my the other guy that I really liked. Gary Nyland. I don't remember him. I don't know that he was like an amazing player. He was okay. I think it was my cousins were family friends of his or somehow was connected to him. I don't remember. So that's how I got that one signed. But he never played here, so I was never that excited about it. Steve Yzerman, another great player. Paul Coffey. More Joe Sakic, Martin Brodeur. And then we just get into sort of random. These are players that were maybe better than most, or the best from each of their teams. Jeremy Roenick. Interesting story about him. When I was in grade 6, everybody in my class wrote letters to celebrities just to see what would happen. And I was the only kid in my entire class that got a letter back. And I had written to Jeremy Roenick, and they sent me back this, I can't remember what it was. I do remember that I was annoyed that I couldn't write to the Canucks, but some other kid had already claimed the Canucks, so I picked my second favorite team at the time, which was Chicago. And they sent me back like this booklet thing, Chicago Blackhawks booklet, and I can't remember what else. It wasn't a lot, like it fit into a manila envelope. But yeah, I was the only one in my class that got anything back from writing to celebrities. So, more Jeremy Roenick. different teams. Nicholas Lidstrom, Iserman, Vladimir Konstantinov. Some of these guys you might recognize if you've watched hockey long enough. Dominic Hasek. He's a good goalie. Buffalo entered the NHL at the same time that the Canucks did. The same induction year. Grant Fuhr, Wendell Clark, big names in Toronto. As a proper Vancouver Canucks fan, I've never been a fan of Toronto. I can't do it. Actually, most of the Canadian teams I probably wouldn't cheer for. Maybe Winnipeg, maybe Ottawa. If you made me, maybe Montreal. But I can't cheer for any of the Alberta teams or Toronto. Rick Tocchet. That's funny. It's funny because he's now the Canucks coach. I didn't realize I had that. That's hilarious. If I ever go to a game or want to get something signed, now I know I got something to get signed. Al Iafrate. The only thing I remember about him is he won the hardest shot at the All-Star game one time. Back when the skills competition was good. That's a whole other topic. Nick Kyprios, he's a broadcaster now. I got two of those. Dale Hunter. Oh, Ray Ferraro. He's another guy that does color commentary now for the Canucks. It's funny, some of these names stick out to me as being familiar, but it's been so long. There's Mario Lemieux. Ulf Samuelsson. Brian Charge. He was a coach for a while too. Or still is, I can't remember. Toronto. St. Louis. Oh, Curtis Joseph. Remember him? He's a good goalie. Brad Hall. Peter Stastny. Anyway, just kind of fun to go through and reminisce. Calgary. It's funny when this would happen. A player they'd have the photo, but then the player would get traded in between taking the photo and printing the card. So he's wearing a Maple Leafs jersey, but he got traded to Calgary, so it's got the Calgary logo. Oh, that one's ripped. Oh well. Brendan Shanahan. Oh, there's Jeff Brown. There's a whole story about Jeff Brown with Vancouver. I don't know if I know enough of the details. I don't remember enough of the details to tell the story, so I probably shouldn't. But it involved somebody sleeping with somebody else's wife. And I don't remember who did what, so I don't want to say. Oh, Brendan Shanahan, he ended up or I think might still be, one of the top, was it the disciplinary, NHL disciplinary division, whatever. He's the guy that hands out the suspensions, or at least he was. More Chicago. You can tell I like Chicago. Oh. Oops. It's another Jeremy Roenick. Lots of Jeremy Roenick. Ed Belfour. Oh, Chris Chelios. There's like a bunch of cards in here. Are they all the same? I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, they're all the same. Because these cards have been in here so long. And this plastic is so old. I was worried that they were going to be stuck to the plastic. Oh yeah, these are all the same. Just duplicates. I have no idea if any of these are worth anything. Oh, there's another Rick Tocchet. I'm guessing they're worth, my whole collection is probably worth tens of dollars. I don't have anything crazy. I don't have any, Wayne Gretzky rookie cards. Steve Yzerman. Paul Coffey. Some bigger names. I think I might have a Wayne Gretzky card somewhere, but I don't have any. Like anything fancy. I was never a big Wayne Gretzky fan, mostly because he never played for Vancouver. I don't really remember him playing much for Edmonton, just because I was too young. But I definitely remember when he got traded to LA. And his subsequent moves. When he go to St. Louis, I think. And then the Rangers. Anyway. So that's my rambling about hockey. I don't even know where we're at with the game. Looks like we're in the intermission. So. I need some more chips. Do some editing. Oh, hey, look. Pac-Man. Yeah, so. Until the whispers fade, let relaxation take over. Until next time, have a good night.